like when they put what's the name on Houses of Parliament? Gail Porter on Houses of Parliament. You know, at least because Crane presumably big in Manchester now, people love him. He's probably like a king there.
Yeah.
He carried aloft in a sedan chair as he's on his way to work. At least he's okay. But yeah, if you've got any concerns, anxieties, and I don't, as you say, not just kind of kitsch references to people from the past, people that you've just got a little bit of anxiety for, get in touch. That's what we're here for. Sammy, you've got a musical choice.
I have, yes. I've been wanting to play this band for a while, but I didn't think it was appropriate. And then we came back and I thought, you know, I'm just going to do it anyway.
Damn it.
Hasty Dixie, a bit of a novelty band. You probably couldn't listen to a whole album, but they are cracking live. And as Tiny Dan said last week, you can't have a compilation without them. So this is their cover of War Pigs.
Thank you. It's a shame they ruined it right at the end there, but never mind. That was Sammy's choice. What was it?
That was War Pigs, the cover by Hasty Dixie, and you can find that on the 2005 A Hot Piece of Grass album.
Thank you very much indeed. We've got a little bit of information coming in.
Yeah, texts and emails have been ablaze. People getting in touch, re Percy and OK Connery. OK Connery, the film with Neil Connery, brother of Sean in. Matthew's emailed in to say, sadly, I don't think you can buy this anywhere due to massive rights issues. But if you really wanted to see it, it was featured on Cult US TV show Mystery Science Theatre 3000.
Okay, that was good actually. Do you remember that? That was where there was sort of a guy and two puppets, and they would basically, it would be on for hours, and they would just kind of have a little sketch, and then they would watch an old bad film and just comment on it wryly all the way through, and you'd see their heads in the foreground, and they would just make smart aleck remarks about the film for like the whole duration of the film, which they would then show on TV. And it was exactly what I guess, you know, you would do at home if you had friends, and if you didn't, you could watch that.
Yeah, moving on to Percy, Mark's emailed in to say that if you go onto Amazon.com, you can get a second-hand Percy for a few dollars. And Lee points out that 11% of people on Amazon who bought Percy also bought Rent-A-Dick.
Of course. Of course they did. Now, I don't want to embarrass myself, but I have a feeling Rent-A-Dick is a... Is that a 70s film again? Like a kind of... Is it with David Jason? No, there's a... It might be. Where you can rent a private detective.
I'm assuming there's a private dick thing going on, a private investigation.
See, this annoys me because I like to think I've got a fairly good knowledge of those terrible films from that period, and it definitely rings a bell. There's one I remember where David Jason hires someone to be a hitman, and then he can't shake him off when he changes his mind. That is interesting to me and no one else, but I'm pretty certain I'm right. Can you give a quick go on there, Harry? Sorry.
Just some other news. Andy Crane seen live and well on Bid Up TV, but people concerned, where's Glamour Kid? Where's Smiley Culture? Apparently Snow went to jail for a little while, but is now out and living in Toronto.
Right, presumably deep undercover.
Absolutely,
yeah, exactly,
yeah.
Under an assumed name.
Yeah.
Perhaps Lancelot, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Who knows? And, well, thank you very much indeed. That's great solid information. Keep it coming if you can. Paul Weller came in and did some stuff exclusively for Six Music in the Hub. Was it last week? Last week, but he also did some stuff duetting with Adele, and we'll be playing his combo, him and Adele, later on in the show. But prior to that, here's Paul Weller doing Why Walk When You Can Run.
BBC Six Music.
Hub Combo. Paul Weller and Adele.
Paul Weller recorded at Maida Vale for Six Music, doing Why Walk When You Can Run, and you'll hear his duet with Adele a bit later in today's show. And you can check out live footage recorded of them performing that on the Six Music website. Yeah, so check that out if you are a Weller and Adele fan. Who isn't? And, yes, I wanted to just, before I get onto this next track, yes, you found a bit of, solid information. I know a lot of people now, they're obsessed with Percy.
That's right.
They want to find out, what other movies from that period they should be checking out.
We've got some revs on, two of your favourite films, Steve, Rent-A-Dick and, The Odd Job.
Yes!
You were trying to remember in which film David Jason, haplessly hired a hitman to kill him, and it was the movie in The Odd Job, 1978. Got the synopsis here. Arthur Harris is a happily married man who returns from his job to discover his wife is leaving him. Devastated, he gets very drunk, tries to kill himself. Then he hires an odd leather coat, asks if there are any odd jobs he can perform. Arthur hires the man to kill him. The next day his wife returns, but the man's still trying to kill him. And
it really is. As funny as I remember.
It really is. And Rent-A-Dick is a movie from 1970 starring Richard Bryars and Donald Senden, who runs a chemical company that's on the verge of producing a gas that causes temporary disability. Clearly the military want it, but Senden doesn't want the military to get hold of it, so he hires people, and Madame Greenfly hires someone to protect the gas, and it's hilarious.
I love the fact that they called it Rent-A-Dick. That just so sums up the 70s, doesn't it? That the idea that people will be just smirking as they're queuing up to see it. It's called Rent-A-Dick. Do you think they mean? No, of course I would imagine they mean something else. It's got better than we should go and see it. Because he sort of, when you think about what was going on in American comedy at the time, people like Richard Pryor, Woody Allen doing stuff, and then over here it's Donald Sinden running a chemical plant. It's absolutely extraordinary. But that's something I'm going to be trying to bring back in any future comedy movies that I make. I might try and drum something up. Yeah, what we need to do is think of a high concept caper comedy that perhaps I could feature in alongside a number of other current comedy luminaries.
That isn't a green light for everybody to email in.
No, I think it probably is.
Oh, is it?
I think it probably is. Yeah, it has to specifically involve me and a number of, as I say, contemporary comedy performers. Could include Jason. He could pop up in it.
Oh yeah.
It needs to be as high concept as possible. Not just insane. Not just. It needs to have, at least got some kind of premise behind them. But you can get in touch.
Text us on 64046 or email stephen.6music@bbc.co.uk.
I wanted to play this one for a while. American producer DJ Amp Live, you're a big fan, Harry.
Oh yeah, huge.
He remixed Radiohead's album In Rainbows, but he was not really allowed to do it, and he put a lot of these tunes online. And Radiohead initially issued a kind of cease and desist order, but then they got together, everyone got together, and lawyers have got involved, and everyone's happy now. It's fine, you can hear it, and you can download it online, you search around, you can find it. And so it's Amp Live. Here he's featuring rapper Del the Funky Homo Sapien, and this is his remix of Videotape. Amp Live featuring Del Videotape, I think it was called Videotapers. And there we are, Six Music, Steve Show with me. Careful, Rufus, squeaking your microphone. So yeah, I'm very excited about this now, reviving the British movie industry single-handedly with a hilarious, high-concept, 70s style British comedy. It's I'm obviously the lead. I think that's taken as read. But don't think that you can't throw in any number of other comedy names that you might like to see. Is Windsor Davis still with us?
I think he is, yeah.
Brilliant. Davis, and I believe Sinden is, isn't he?
Definitely.
Sinden, Davis, they're definitely in there somewhere.
There's been a text about Richard O'Sullivan. I'd quite like to see him getting involved.
Yes, if we can get Sullivan involved, that would be tremendous. Okay. Firstly, my character needs they have an amusing, if slightly rude-sounding name. That's all, and a sort of slightly kind of lame, sort of something like Norman Crabcock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something that doesn't really mean anything, but seems faintly rude.
Yeah.
Where am I working? It'll be something like, just to give you a clue, it'll be something like, a toffee apple factory.
It's usually it's a factory or a place where things are invented, involving kind of plastics or something.
Yeah. Or it's something again that, so for instance, remember there's an entire carry-on that's just about them making lavatories. Yeah. Carry on at your convenience.
Well, how about you work in a fridge factory and you pack said fridge?
Okay, alright, I see where you're going with that, but I wonder if you've just lapsed into bad taste, which is of course...
But there's the fine line of bad taste.
There is. Well, I'll refer you back to a film which I'm sure you're a huge fan of, Sammy, made in the mid-80s, featuring the entire cast of Boone. Michael Elphick et al. Called something like Me and My Vampire Motorcycle. Do you remember that?
I vaguely remember.
Again, you might need to look that up. I don't want to embarrass myself. Obviously, Mel Smith and Griffiths Jones, Morons from Outer Space. Two guys, run into some morons from outer space. So we don't want to get too fruity. We've still got Grants coming along.
Do you need boobs?
I need boobs.
Are boobs a key element in this film? Are we ignoring?
I see what you mean. Does my character need boobs, or do we need to feature them in the film? I think we definitely need to, yes, because we need to get the teenage audience in, you see, and they are lured by a quick flash of nipple. So certainly there will be an instance, and that could be as simple as I fall through the ceiling whilst up to something. I fall through the ceiling into someone else's bedroom where there's a woman just getting changed.
Changing room.
Or a ladies' changing room. I've always had a fond idea of maybe if this could be worked in, that'd be great. I turn invisible. Okay, and so obviously I end up going to a ladies' changing rooms because I'm invisible. That's what you do, right?
Yeah. First thing
but obviously my glasses you can still see.
Yeah.
So my glasses are moving around. It's very steamy in there. Like, you just see the glasses move down as though I'm just wiping them clean on a towel. The glasses, and then you see a lady showering. Then you see the glasses perhaps float down to get an intimate look at some intimate areas. You understand what I'm saying? And that'll probably go on for like 7 or 8 minutes. That's
abilities.
Yeah.
So perhaps then you do work in some sort of invention, scientific lab.
Right, so I turn myself invisible.
Then that's how, late at night, you discover this, and maybe this is in the plot.
Good.
Yeah.
So I turn invisible at some point.
You accidentally fall into a vat of it or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
or do it, because the problem is that then we're just into an invisibility movie. Maybe we need other elements in something. So what? Maybe it's sort of I'm cycling through lots of different classic science fiction ideas. So like, do you know what I mean? So it's like I'm the Invisible Man for a while, but then I'm maybe also in a time machine.
Yeah,
for a bit.
Well, surely you've become invisible overnight. So you've gone and had your adventure. You've gone back to your factory where you work. Said to your mate, "Look, here I am." He says, "What? I can't see you." He goes, "No, it's me. I'm invisible. I need something to get me back." And so every further invention sends you into a different
area. Scenario. Yeah, Mr. Ben style.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Okay, listen. There's a lot of quality ideas here, guys. Let's leave it on hold for a second. Let's have your musical choice, Harry, before we continue.
Yeah, well, everyone knows top punk band The Carbonas from Atlanta, Georgia. Or actually, might just be Atlanta. I'm not even sure. But their bass player Jesse has his own band, which is called Gentleman Jesse. It's a great kind of 70s power pop album. This track is called If I Can See You.
Harry's musical choice on this week's show. That was cracking, Harry. What was it again?
Yeah, from the album introducing Gentleman Jesse, that was If I Can See You by Gentleman Jesse out on Douchemaster Records earlier this year.
Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, maybe there's an American character at some point, because we need one American star.
Yeah.
So who could be called something like,
Douchemasters?
what's sorry?
Douchemasters?
Douchemasters, perfect, yeah.
I'm thinking that the owner of the factory is some big Texan big shot.
Yeah,
The Douchemaster.
Yeah.
Mr. Douchemaster?
Alfred Douchemaster.
Not Alfred, it'll be something like kind of Hank Douchemaster or something a bit very American.
Yeah.
And that would be just a brief appearance by someone who is a nobody now in the States, but over here still considered to have some cachet. Trying to think who that would be. Maybe someone like
Richard Chamberlain?
Richard Chamberlain, but he's quite old now, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think Richard Chamberlain. I'm thinking maybe the guy who was Face in the A-Team. Dirk Benedict.
Dirk Benedict.
Yeah, because he's quite dashing as well.
Yeah.
So, and Dirk Benedict as Hank, was it? Hank
Douchemaster. Douchemaster, maybe.
Perfect. A lot of people are saying this is going to go straight to DVD. I don't want to jinx it. But I'm still very excited. Yeah, I'm still worried about the plot. I feel it's a bit thin. I know there's some invisibility.
I think we can work on the glasses. I think the glasses are immune to all the invisibility and the time machine and everything else. They always bedevil all your great plans. They're the things that get misted up in the changing rooms. And then you realise this very, very late on in the film when you suddenly rely on the glasses.
But there's a whole sequence where I lose the glasses and I can't see anything.
Of course, you can't see anything.
Sure.
And, and I think you have to learn something. All these films involve some sort of a learning process. You learn something about yourself.
Of course.
And then and then you're allowed to be completely invisible all the time whenever you want to be.
This will run and run, but we have to go to the news after that live music from the Howling Bells.
On digital, online, BBC.
Garage rock classic, popularised of course by the Stranglers, 96 Tears by Question Mark and the Mysterians, 60s band from Michigan who shifted 1 million copies of that song when it was released in 1966, and Question Mark, chief songwriter and frontman, still refers to himself as Question Mark, never given out his true name, so all these years later. And there you are. It's kind of rock trivia that people have come to know and love from this show. Can we have a massive round of applause for the Howling Bells? Thank you so much for coming in. I got trouble in the past for adding a the where it's not the Howling Bells.
No.
Okay.
What mood you're in? Really?
Yeah.
So, I mean, have I already annoyed you at this early stage of things? Are you already furious?
I'm seething
Yeah, I can. Oh my goodness me! See,
ferociously.
this is the problem. I'm scared of rock bands. I never know what mood they're going to be in. Are they all off their heads on crack and smack?
That sounds
That is great. Would you guys introduce yourselves just so the audience could get a sense of who the hell you are?
How formal do you want this to be?